Hi, this is just a really quick video to show you how to make your graph for the Control of Enzymes lab. So one thing to note is you only need to graph the average times. So you're going to put all 4 average times on one graph. So the way that you want to do this is up at the top ribbon in Word, you will go to Insert, and you would choose Chart. The default chart is a clustered column. This will work great for this particular lab. So click OK. And it will pop up with a chart that has random categories and numbers. You're going to enter your own categories and numbers in here. The categories, these are the things that you're going to have on the bottom of the graph. So these would be the different treatments that you used. So for example, if I did pH, then maybe my first category would be plain H2O2. And you can type directly into the box here. So perhaps my second category is 2 drops of lemon. And then for the third category, I'll write 4 drops lemon. And for the last category, I'll write 6 drops lemon. You can label these based on whichever categories you actually used for your lab, and you can see that they update across the bottom of the chart that I'm making. Now this particular chart has 3 bars for every category that we used, and we only want 1 because we're only graphing the averages. So you can click and drag to highlight Series 2 and Series 3, and then you can right-click and choose to delete those whole columns, and then we will only end up with a single bar for each of our categories. Now underneath Series 1, it's given you some default numbers, and you want to type the actual numbers that you had for your averages into those boxes to replace the default numbers. So here is my data table, and so for my average times for plain H2O2, I had 26.2 seconds for that average. And then for group 2, which was the 2 drops of lemon, I had 48 seconds as my average. And I'm just typing these into the box to replace the default numbers it's given me. Up at the top where it says Series 1, that's what it's putting as the title of your graph. So you can change that. Frequently, I like to do a title that says something like relationship between whatever the independent and dependent variables are. So you could say something like relationship between the reaction time and pH for the enzyme catalase. That would be a good title. Just something so that if somebody has never done this experiment before and they're wondering about it, the title gives them some clue as to what's going on. So now we can X out of the chart box and go and look at our chart, and it looks pretty good. There's a couple things that we still need. So we want to have an axis title on the side and the top. So if you're hovering your mouse over your chart while it's selected, there should be a plus button on the right that says Chart Elements. You can click on that plus sign button and select Axis Titles. That will give you an axis title on the side, which is the y-axis. You can click into it and backspace or delete to get rid of the default title and type your own title, which would be like time in seconds. And then on the bottom where we have this axis title, this is just our different pH treatments in this case. Since we only have one color of bar, we really don't need this part that tells us that the blue bar means the relationship between the reaction time and pH. So I can select that and push the delete button on my keyboard, and that will remove that legend. And now my chart looks pretty good. That's it.